This week's Parsha is Shemot. It's the first Parsha of the book of Shemot. In English, it's called Exodus, the book. I love this Parsha because Shemot means names. And for me, I always think about what are the names I call myself? What are the names I call others? And how important is a name? Scratch that. How important is a name? We're all given many names. There's the name we're given at birth, the English name and the Hebrew name. There's the name that people call us. There's the name that our deeds reflect upon us. So it's important to remember that the names that we want to make for ourselves are the names we make with the deeds that we do. It's so easy to be entitled. It's so easy to be downtrodden. It's so easy to throw away the gift of the names that our ancestors have created for us. But Shemot comes to remind us that names are important. And the names that we create with our deeds are even more important. Because what happens when we forget that? It says it in this Parsha, a new king arose over Egypt that did not know Joseph. It's impossible. Joseph was part of the history, part of the DNA of the land of Egypt. He saved Egypt. Why did this king not know Joseph? Because if he didn't know Joseph, he wouldn't be responsible to the Hebrew people, to the children of Israel. And then he could enslave them. So what happens is, when we don't honor the deeds, when we don't continue our own deeds and honor the deeds and the names of those who have helped us, come before us, stand with us, lead us, then we can be resentful. We can tear down what they've created, and we can enslave them and their people. This is the great tragedy of not remembering names, which is why this whole book is called Shemot, names. Yes, the book is the story of the exodus of the Jewish people from Egypt on their way to Canaan. More importantly, it's about no longer allowing myself to be called a slave, no longer calling myself a slave, no longer allowing myself just to go along with what is wrong in the world because I think it will pass. It's about standing up and saying, no, I'm a human. As I heard Rabbi Heschel quoted one time, I'm never lost. I know where I came from. I came from Abraham. And I know where I'm going, to the kingship, to the sovereignty of God. As long as I stay on that path, then I honor all of the people, Jewish, not Jewish, who have brought light and have brought a path for me to follow towards that sovereignty of God. And I never forget. And I constantly continue to repay the debt through my obligation, the debt that they put on me by giving me a life, giving me a teaching, giving me a path. My grandparents came over on the boat. They went through Ellis Island so that I could be free. I owe my grandparents. I owe them, and I have to repay them through living well, living their principles of decency and honesty and truth and kindness and compassion and justice and love. so that whenever I say I'm a descendant of the Nagelbergs, I'm a descendant of the Gellers, I'm a descendant of the Borovitzes, I'm a descendant of the Goodmans, that I live the principles and the path they've shown for me. Shabbat Shalom.